Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And with the NBA regular season just 2 days away, NBA teams have been shaving their rosters in order to get down to 15 players, which is the maximum allotted for the season. I'm going to name some notable players that have been cut over the past couple days, released from their teams. While the 15 player rosters aren't due until tomorrow, many teams have made their roster cuts prior to that because, especially if the guy is on a non guaranteed deal, they wouldn't pass waivers until after the season starts. So, thus, the team would be paying for them for a couple days despite not being on the team. So maybe if more notable names get cut tomorrow, I could do a short or something. But let's get into it. I'm going to name the players in alphabetical order, and we're going to take a look at their basketball reference pages. Starting with PJ Dozier, he was cut by the Minnesota Timberwolves, who only signed him a few weeks ago. He's coming off an ACL tear, so he missed much of last season, but he did play a role on some good Denver teams, as you could see. In 2020-21, 21.8 minutes a game, 7.7 points, 3.6 rebounds, 1.8 assists. Not a great three-point shooter. Not really a good foul shooter either, although he doesn't get to the line much, but he is a good defender and a good guy to have off the bench. Is still just 25 years old, will turn 26 on October 25th. Next, we got Derek Favors. Derek Favors, man, he's been in the league for so long. It's surprising that he's just 31 years old. You would think he's older. He was the third pick in the 2010 NBA draft by the then New Jersey Nets. Has gone on to play 12 seasons in the NBA. Last season spent with the Thunder, starting 18 of his 39 games. Decent numbers, 5.3 points and 4.7 rebounds in just 16.7 minutes per game. Really hasn't been a great scorer since, well, really, even in 2019-20, he nearly averaged a double-double, 9 points and 9.8 rebounds. Was at his best with the Jazz 2014, 2015, 16, but he could be a valuable player off the bench to grab rebounds. He's always shot very efficiently. So Derek Favors should be getting picked up by someone. Third, we have Stanley Johnson, who was let go by the Utah Jazz. I should have mentioned Derek Favors was let go by the Rockets. He was involved in an 8-player trade between the Thunder and Rockets. So Stanley Johnson was let go by the Jazz. He was involved in the trade that brought Talon Horton Tucker also to the Jazz and sent Patrick Beverley to the Los Angeles Lakers. While the Lakers were one of the league's biggest disappointments last season, it wasn't a bad year for Stanley Johnson. Johnson started 27 of his 48 appearances for the Lakers, averaging 6.7 points, 3.2 rebounds, nearly 2 assists a game. Has always struggled from the field. Actually, last season was the first time he ever shot over 40% from the field. Not a great three-point shooter, but again, a pretty good defensive player. Was taken 8th overall by the Pistons in the 2015 NBA draft. Still just 26 years old. Next, we got David Nwaba. Was let go by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, I don't think it's official, but it's been reported that they are going to release him. He was a part of that Derek Favors trade as well that saw 8 players change teams. Nwaba, undrafted, and has played in the NBA for each of the last 6 seasons. Last season with the Rockets, 46 games, 5.1 points, 3.3 rebounds. The season before, he saw 22.6 minutes per game, averaging 9.2 points per contest, which was a career high. Much like some of the other guys I named, not a great three-point shooter, but Nwaba gives it his all on the defensive end. He is 29 years old, will turn 30 on January 14th. Next, we got another guy who has not officially been released, but all reports, and reports for a while, have said that the Pistons are not going to keep him. That is Kemba Walker, formerly of the New York Knicks, was traded to the Pistons. 32 years old, won't turn 33 until May 8th. He was a member of my New York Knicks. They pretty much banished him from the team to end the season, not because of behavior or anything, just they decided to go in a different direction. Four-time All-Star, made four straight All-Star games from 2016, 2019, 20. A smaller point guard, though. Injuries have definitely helped to derail him. Last season with the Knicks, 11.6 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists per game, shot 36.7% from deep. There was a couple games where he looked like the old Kemba Walker, had a triple-double, but just couldn't bring it on the defensive end. Maybe could have a role on a team playing 10 to 15 minutes a game. And the last guy we're going to highlight is Cody Zeller, who was let go by the Utah Jazz as well. Zeller last season played for Portland. 5.2 points per game, 4.6 rebounds. The fourth overall pick by the then Charlotte Bobcats in 2013. Zeller turned just 30 on October 5th. Again, a guy who seems to be a lot older than he actually is. Now 9 seasons in the league. Last season was a career low in both minutes and scoring. The previous season in 20.9 minutes per game with the Hornets, 9.4 points, 6.8 rebounds. The 2 seasons before that averaged double digits in scoring. Each of the past 7 seasons has shot over 50% from the field. So definitely a guy who could come off the bench. Someone should pick him up, standing at 6'11". So there you have it. 6 notable guys that did not survive the roster cuts as the NBA is close to starting. We're just 2 days away. Do you think any of these guys will be picked up by playoff-bound teams? Maybe could play a role, be a part of a rotation on a good team? Let me know in the comments. Some other guys who were cut include Kent Bazemore, Jake Layman by the Celtics, a few others. All indications are that the Thunder will likely be cutting Trey Burke and Marquise Chris, who are also part of that Derek Favors trade. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when 15-man rosters are due. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.